Hey everybody, this is not a review of a LEGO Minecraft set. It's a review of a LEGO Minecraft Dungeons set. If you're not familiar with the difference, notice the different branding up there. They don't use the green like they did for the regular Minecraft stuff. Minecraft Dungeons is a recently released game that is based in a Minecraft universe, not necessarily the Minecraft universe, but a Minecraft universe. It's an isometric, so almost top-down dungeon crawler, like a hack and slash game. You don't build anything, you just go around killing monsters and finding loot and upgrading your stuff and then doing it again. It's kind of like a very lightweight Diablo of sorts, but with really low-res textures. It's actually kind of fun, but again, fairly lightweight. Let's take a look at this set though. It comes with 4 brand new Minecraft minifigures down here. No Steve, no Alex, so we'll take a closer look at those. It comes with a pig with a treasure chest on the back. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. It's a little bit of side build over here, but the main thing is called a Redstone Monstrosity, and he has a little friend, which is a Redstone Golem. The little one is kind of like I want to say more like a champion than a mini boss once you dispatch your very first one. Then from then on, it's relatively routine. They can do some serious damage to you, and they do require some tactics depending upon what difficulty level you're at, but yeah, not that big of a deal. But LEGO has done a pretty nice job of rendering this one here, and this set has no stickers. So anything that looks like a decoration is a print, and I appreciate that very much. So the face there is a printed 2x3 tile, and then there are 2 identical 2x3 printed tiles used for the body. The quality of print there is actually pretty good. The brightest color here is a light yellow, or cool yellow, I think they call it, and it's printed with plenty of opacity. The build for this was very nice for something that is so blocky. I don't know, it's just kind of appropriate. Not much to see around the back though. That is rather plain. Looks pretty good from the top. You see a little extra detail there because it's supposed to be like made from different types of materials in universe, including a series of redstone ore pieces and some cracked stone and stuff. I don't know, a bunch of stuff. But look at this. The head is able to move around. There's a good amount of articulation there. You can like twist side to side. And this is not upside down. Like you may look at this and say, hey, well, that looks more like a proper face with the, looks like there's a nose and a mouth there, but no, it actually goes like this, strangely enough. But they did a good job. The designer did a good job of embedding, or partially embedding, the ball and socket combination in there. And then you also have ball joints with the sockets embedded for the shoulders. So that's good stuff. Well done there. Ball joint for the elbow. Same thing over here. So you can, really swing those arms and make it look like it's getting ready to do either a run or a knockback attack at you. And then you also have the ball and socket joints for the legs down here. So you can really put this thing into a dynamic action pose, and I think I can get it to actually stand up. Yeah, it's kind of balancing right now, but with a little extra effort, you can get that to balance pretty properly. So it's just nice for what it is. The big one, again called a Redstone Monstrosity, was rendered just about as well with just as many good features, in my opinion, by LEGO as the other. So here, once again, we have no stickers, just prints, fairly well embedded ball and socket joint combinations in some places, and a fair amount of articulation. And it looks pretty accurate to what you'll see in game. Now in game, these are actual bosses, like proper bosses, end of level kind of boss. So this is a very dangerous thing depending upon your difficulty level. It can be very difficult indeed, even if you have help, even if you're not going solo at it. Sorry about the little bit of wiggle there as we rotate them around, but again, not great looking from the back, not at all. But from all other angles, it's very effective, including from the top where you get to see a bunch of those beautiful transparent red pieces. They're 1x2s and 2x2s both, so you can see quite far down into the structure. This build actually uses a fair number of coral colored pieces to back some of the things to bring extra brightness in there rather than just using a regular red. So coral is much brighter. It gives you a lot more light back. As for articulation for this one, well, it's got the head that's able to move up and down, and this one actually has some length to the neck. So that gives it a slightly different effect. Man, this head really looks proper for a little Lego model. Of course, it's always going to be easier to do things in Lego that are intended to be blocky in the first place, but this is especially good. There we go. So you got the jaw that opens and closes. You got the neck that moves. Once again, ball joints for the shoulders. So we're able to move around here a little bit. It doesn't need a lot of motion there, side to side, but it's got the up and down, which is important. This time they went with the ratcheted joints for the elbows, so there is a little bit of limitation. It's just not as smooth, And they even have fingers that can be individually open and closed. They're not supposed to really grab anything, which is just fine, but I guess you could probably pinch something in there. Let me actually just test that right now with a completely random minifigure. I don't even have a proper minifigure handy to grab right now, but yeah, I can kind of do that. That kind of works. But what I want to do is turn them sideways, put the hands up, and grab them in there. It kind of works. It's not the best, but it works well enough. The ball joints, by the way, that are used for the shoulders on this one are full-sized, large action figure sized. Got a little bit of yellow behind there as well. That's just part of the builds to make it easier to identify the pieces along the way. And then down here, they use those printed pieces again, that 2x3. And look at this, waist articulation. Yeah, that's good. And it has a proper amount of friction behind it. It's not just free spinning. And then you've got the ability to move the legs as well. So you can do the little potato dance from Charlie Chaplin if you want, If you know what I'm talking about. No, nobody watching this knows what I'm talking about. And anybody who doesn't want to let their age be known. But yeah, you can put this into some action poses. So, this thing is as dynamic as I could ask for it to be. And it was fun to put together. Looks proper. Looks interesting on display. Yeah, I'm happy with it. So this thing now. I'll tell you, the very first time I encountered one of these in game, I was playing with a friend, and we both immediately knew what it was, having not looked up any information about the game in advance, and this thing having not existed previously in the Minecraft universe officially. We both immediately knew what it was. We both just instinctually called it a treasure pig, and we knew what we needed to do with it. Namely, chase it down, block it off, and kill the heck out of it to get whatever was inside the chest. Now, we didn't get great stuff out of that particular chest, but you will continue to find these throughout the game, and they're exciting because they move very quickly. They are very defensive. They're very evasive. They try to get away from you. They typically spawn around other baddies, so you have to stay alive while you try to chase this thing down, and they have loot upon them. So Lego has just given us a little pig here with what almost looks like a saddle underneath, and then there's just a gold chest on top. It's just a molded pearl gold chest, and inside there is stuff. Now, there are new things. I'll show you a shot from when I was building this of all of the new things in this weapon parts pack, which is new for dungeons in particular. Includes items that are not included in the regular Minecraft that you may be familiar with. I must admit I don't recognize this item here. It looks to me most like a lightning rod or some sort of wand, which would be an artifact and not a weapon per se. But it's missing all the colors that you would expect for an artifact like that. If you canonically know precisely, exactly, and for a fact, beyond a shadow of a doubt, exactly what that's intended to be, check the comments to see if anyone else has already said something to the same effect. But from my playing of the game thus far, I don't know, it looks like an artifact to me that's missing its color. So this may just be a little bit of divergence between when Lego last got game assets and today. This is obviously just a plain axe, and then the other things in the chest here are intended to represent emeralds, the primary trading currency of the game. And then this is a quintessential budget filler side build. It's just a thing that's made up of pieces for which the designer had parts budget remaining after doing all the important stuff. And so they got a little cauldron, crafting table, which you don't actually use in this game there, map piece, which is another nice printed part there. And then we got a couple more weapons. This is a cutlass, and this is a scythe, two-handed weapon there. Some of the sizes are a little bit funky in that weapons pack that they came up with the new molds, so they don't all completely line up. And you just got a potion of healing there. Those are just, well, you basically end up having just one, and it recharges itself. It doesn't quite work like you would expect in Minecraft in general. The only potions that you pick up that are red like that are potions of strength, and they're not round. The figures are all named characters. On the left is Hex, on the right is Valerie. Hex on the left has a pair of daggers, which again, with just the sizes and proportions of weapons from that weapons pack, they are not right. They're too big. Same with the pair of sickles being held by Valerie over on the right. They're just way too big. In game, they're actually tiny little things, and you have very, very, very little range with them, but they attack very quickly, and they feel pretty good for what they are. The prints are pretty good on these. I'm especially happy with the opacity for the whites on the heads. Maybe it's not as good. It's a little bit difficult to tell on the torsos which color they were going for. If they were going for a sand blue for small details there on Valerie, like around the base of the neck there underneath the bit of metallic, or if they're going for gray, then that works. But if they're going for white, then no, they messed up. But at least the faces are pretty good. So I have to call that out. Appreciate that. And around the back, they have some prints as well. A little bit of registration issue, especially for the one on the left. But I should just be happy to get new Minecraft skins at all. And these are very usable ones. And it's very easy to swap the parts between all four of the characters in this set. The other two here are Hal on the left, H-A-L, and on the right is Hedwig, or Hedvig, just like Harry Potter's owl, H-E-D-W-I-G. And once again, I am proud of LEGO for doing good with the opacity for the prints for the faces, especially for Hal there. Now, some of the registration is, once again, off just so slightly, not lined up completely perfectly from one color to the next, but at least you can see these from a distance, and they're not faded, thank goodness. So I have to celebrate that. I shouldn't have to celebrate that, but I do, because we've gotten so many recently in the past few years or so, maybe a little longer than that have not had good prints at all, where you're starting to just, especially against a darker color like this head here, they just start to fade, and it almost looks like they have a different skin tone for the face than for the rest of the body or for any other exposed areas. So yeah, production work here is improved, still not perfect, and only one print for the torso, nothing else for the body, but overall I'm happy with these. Each one comes with just a basic crossbow. Finally, looking at the spare parts, the leftovers, well, there's not much to see here. And also, there is no spent sticker sheet because there are no stickers in this set whatsoever. All right, it's time to talk about price and value. This comes with 504 pieces, and the price is $40 US, 40. The price to part ratio looks very, very nice, especially when you consider that this has 4 new minifigures in it. It also has a little animal, has no stickers, has a good number of prints, including a couple of new exclusive ones. I think the leg ones can be used for other things in the future, hopefully. But yeah, I think the value here is actually pretty good for what you get. The volume of stuff, the price to volume of stuff ratio is okay. It's not great. Just looking at this at first glance, I would say maybe 35. But then when I consider the number of parts, and I think back to the experience of putting this together, and I look at the weapon parts, the figures, it's there. The value is definitely there. And as for this as an entire set, just my personal thoughts, I think I should probably lead with some personal thoughts about the game itself, not in terms of the gameplay. I'm not going to review the game here, but I do want to share with you the fact that this game and playing it, and then by extension, getting this official set based on the game, has inspired me quite a bit as someone who has and has had for quite some time a rather large Lego Minecraft display, a diorama. It has inspired me to broaden my horizons and to start doing things more creative there. You know, up to this point, I've always worried about the canon, the official things that you're supposed to do in Minecraft to make it look proper, to make it look real, quote unquote real. I've worried about that stuff, and a lot of viewers have as well, and have called out things in my layout like, "Jang, you cannot do that. You change that right now. That is not official. That would not ever happen in a real a real Minecraft server," which is fine. It's all from a place of fandom and caring about the canon. Caring about what is right according to that universe as it's been designed. But you get into Minecraft Dungeons, and I mean, there's a bunch of stuff here that doesn't exist in the real, regular Minecraft world, and yet it's very Minecraft-y. And it's now canonically part of the Minecraft experience, officially. So that has totally inspired me and really opened me up so that the next time I work on my Minecraft layout space, I'm going to be able to be much more creative with it. I'm going to reject anti-creative rhetoric saying, "Jang, you cannot do that." I'm going to do whatever I want to while making it still look like it's Minecraft. So big thanks to Minecraft Dungeons for that. It's not the most fantastic game. Especially its initial release was much smaller, quicker to get through than I expected, though you can go back and start doing the replay loop on higher difficulties, and they start to add in different things you can get. I'm going to continue playing it for some time, I'm sure. But overall, this has been a very positive experience for me. I'm glad that LEGO at least did one set. If there was any one thing that I would ask to be improved in this set right here, it's right here. The chest. Because the chest is just all gold. And I mean, look at that right there. See all that dark red that's supposed to be on there? Like, even if you don't get the little creeper head, all that dark red should be there, should be approximated in some way. It's iconic. Once you play this enough, especially if you've played Diablo in the past and you're aware of like treasure goblins, and it's always this excitement and you got to go there, you got to get it real quick. That instantly becomes an iconic thing, and this just isn't iconic enough. It does a good job of approximating it in Lego form, but I would have been okay with a sticker sheet, a small little sticker sheet, just to give me some dark red to put a few little panels of it on this, front and back, but especially on the front. Otherwise, speaking of front and back, the backs of these monsters are very plain, but it doesn't bother me that much. So that's it for basically criticism from me. You can check out the real-time pure build of this. You can check out the speed build if you want to see what's inside of these in particular. And I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you very much for watching.